Alright, I'm going to keep this short because I don't have much of a voice. Today it's Omnath, the Locus of the Roil. Unfortunately, I've caught a little bit of a cold, so I'll apologize now if I manage to cough a little bit during this. Today is my Omnomnomnath deck, where I have Omnath, Locus of the Roil as the commander. If you don't know what he does, for one, a green, a blue, and a red, you get a 3/3 elemental that says when it enters the battlefield, deal damage to any target equal to the number of elementals you control. So he's always going to do at least one damage for himself. He also has a landfall trigger attached to him that says whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on target elemental you control. If you control 8 or more lands, draw a card. So it's a good way to get a little bit of card advantage and buff up your elementals. So let's take a look at what I've done here. This is an old deck that I built 2 years ago, 3 years ago now, where it's all about the elemental sub-theme, and this was the original commander. I could have buffed it up and put the new Omnath in, but I don't like that card as well. I think this one is more fun to play. So let's take a look. First column is my usual protection column. We have things like Tamiyo's Safekeeping for Hexproof Indestructible, Gaia's Gift, Hexproof Indestructible Reach and Trample, also puts a counter, Hexproof Indestructible across the board, and then just Hexproof for the boots, and so you can attack right away with some of your stuff. We also have what I would call the mana column, which also includes some elementals. We have Chandra's Embercat. You can use that to cast a Chandra or an elemental. Leafkin Druid, add a green. If you control 4 more creatures, you get double green. Florahedron, which is a land or an elemental that taps for green. Arcane Signet, Cultivate, and Harrow, just because of land and all the landfall trigger stuff going on. Chromatic Lantern, just to help because we're in 3 mana colors. And then Titania's Command, so you can go fetch up any 2 lands and usually put 2 counters on each of your creatures. Sometimes you can do the bear stuff or exile a graveyard, whatever you really need. My removal column is kind of small. Storm's Wrath, burn down the house to wipe the board, and then Flood of Tears, because it returns all non-land permanents to their owner's hands, and you can put something back on the board. So, like, if you have some of your bigger enchantments, bigger elementals out, you can bounce them all and then re-slam on them to get a reused ETB, and then get the board reset if you need to. Then this column, the long one, is all the elementals that are in this deck. We have Scorch Spitter, Healer of the Glade, Thunderkin Awakener, Lightning Stormkin, Brushfire Elemental, Creeping Trailblazer, Metallic Mimic, you name elementals, they get counters. Cloud Concealer for a little bit of card draw and flying. Boldhound Haste pumps the elementals as you swing with it. Overgrowth Elemental, you can put a counter on another elemental when it comes in, and when one of your creatures dies, you put a counter on this. Risen Reef, the best probably elemental ever printed. 1 a green and a blue, 1/1. Whenever it or another elemental enters the battlefield, you look at the top card. If it's a land, you put it on the battlefield tapped. Otherwise, you can put it into your hand. Lavakin Brawler, 3 in a red for every elemental you have on the battlefield. It gets +1/+0 when you attack with it. And then it'll come up here in just a bit when I explain why I run that card. Scampering Scorcher just gives you 3 elemental triggers off of some of these things because it gives you 3 bodies to work with. Tectonic Giant, shoot your opponents, or you can exile and get cards off of it. Gives your stuff Trample with the Thicket Crasher. Parcel Beast, you can either mutate it or you can just play it outright, and you can use it as ways to get your lands off your deck. Muldrifter, you can evoke it or play it outright. Either way, you still get your triggers off of it. Cavalier of Flame, you can just slam this down. You can pump your stuff, give haste. There's a lot of different things you can do with this. Ashaya makes your stuff into lands, so it works well with the Flood of Tears because then they don't bounce. Just your enchantments and your artifacts will go, but whatever, your creatures will stay put. And they also tap for mana as well once they've been turned into a forest. Cavalier of Thorns can help us get stuff back, and it's a good sized body too. Wave Sifter, when it enters the battlefield, you investigate twice and you can evoke it. Just a nice little elemental to fit in here. Nyx Bloom Ancient triples the mana output of any permanent you tap for mana. Lands, mana rocks, whatever. And then we also have Titan of Industry, which also happens to be an elemental. For 7 mana, you get a 7/7 Reach Trampler that you can either blow up an artifact or an enchantment, gain 5 life, create a Rhino, or put a shield counter on something. So whatever you need, this has got some nice utility and counts as an elemental for the deck. And then this column is things that create elementals for us. Chandra Acolyte of Flame, You can zero her to create 1/1 elemental creature tokens, or you can zero her to put a +1 a loyalty counter on each of your red planeswalkers, or you can -2 her to flash back a 3 CMC spell out of your graveyard and play it. Titania, Voice of Gaia, she is an elemental, and she can turn into an elemental avatar, and on her backside, you can use it to put counters on a land and turn them into elementals. Tadiova, Steward of Tides, if you've watched my recent video on Tadiova, you know she can create elementals out of your land, so that I put her in here just because it's got a good little landfall trigger on it. And then Nissa, Who Shakes the World, turns your lands into elementals, essentially. Well, it's not essentially. And then they just stick around. And then if you ever, it also doubles the mana output of your forest as well, but that's not as big here because we're in 3 colors. And then this is stuff that synergizes well with elementals. Like, you name it, it does something for you. So like, you name elemental, they get cheaper. You can reveal and get an extra card off of it. +1/+1 to elementals, and you can pay 3 to look at your top cards and then get an elemental out of it. Distant Melody. You can name elemental, draw cards equal to the number you have. This Chandra can actually +2/+0 to give your elementals a boost and swing. You can shock with her, or you can make mana with her. There's a lot of options with this card. Reflections of Littjara. For 5 mana, you get to name an elemental, and every time you cast an elemental, you get 2 of them. And that includes your legends, but you only get to keep 1 of them. The trick with Reflections of Littjara here is to keep the token copy of Omnath so that the original goes back to post, and then you can recast it again later. Vanquisher's Banner. Name elemental, they get +1/+1, and when you cast elementals, you draw cards. And then Chandra, Awakened Inferno. This also lands in the removal category as well. For 4 red, you can get a 6 loyalty, can't counter it. Each opponent gets an emblem with, at the beginning of the upkeep, they take a damage. And then they also can -3 to deal 3 damage to each non-elemental, so all of your creatures are going to survive, like a 3-point sweep across any kind of like massive aggro deck. And then you can -X her to deal X damage to a target creature or planeswalker, and just in case you need to nuke something a little bigger than 3 across the board. And if they die, exile the thing instead. And the last column is just fun little bits and pieces that I have in the deck to do various things. Mystic Reflection. Choose target non-legendary creature. The next time 1 or more creatures enters the battlefield this turn, they enter as copies. So the cool thing to do with this thing is to copy, say, I don't know, Bolt Hounds, Risen Reefs, or Lavacan Brawlers, or something like that. And then play Scampering Scorcher on top of it. And then all 3 copies of the creatures plus the original Scorcher are actually going to come into play as copies of whatever you selected. Just, a fun little combat trick. Regrowth, get stuff back out of your graveyard that's been killed or used up. Grazilax, Illithid Scholar. This actually works out pretty well here. You can swing all out with stuff, and it's something you don't want dying, gets blocked, in a way you don't want. You just bounce it back to your hand, and then anything that gets through gives you a card. Augmenter Pugilist. We don't give a damn about the backside, or the front of it. The Pugilist means nothing. It's the echoing equation on the back that we matter about. For 3 blue, you get a sorcery that says choose target creature you control, and each other creature you control becomes a copy of it until end of turn, except those are not legendary. So the cool thing, and I've done this before probably a couple years back now, is you pick something like the Lavacan Brawler that we talked about earlier and turn all of your elementals into Lavacan Brawlers, and then you swing all out so all of them get the Lavacan Brawler bonus and get +X or +1/+0 for every elemental you control. I've swung it with like 50+ damage off of this thing before. It's just kind of stupid. And how do I do that? Well, there's some other things in here. I'll show you here in a second. Vial Duplication, Spark Double, copy Omnath so you get extra triggers off of those. Copy your other things that are on the board, such as the Cavaliers or your Nyxbloom Ancient to get more mana. You get the point. You copy stuff that does good things for your deck and you get extra out of it. Delina Wild Mage, you can create copies of stuff that, like Omnath, which that's actually the best thing you can copy with her. because if you hit a good chain of dice rolls, you can just like start chain gunning Omnath triggers on their face as each of those copies come into play. And I love her with Verazol because if you swing and they block her, you just bounce her back to your hand off of the Verazol trigger and then replay her and do it all over again. You know, Guardian Project, just a good way to draw cards in the deck. You know, bump my mouse. You just play it, and then we're playing singleton, so every card we play is going to, or every creature that we play is going to give us a card. Timeless Witness, just like Regrowth, you get ways of getting stuff out of your graveyard, and you get to do it twice with this card. And then Mirror March. This was in my original build in Standard when it was around at the time, and I love this card. It's just big, dumb, goofy stuff, which is great in like Commander or Brawl. For 5 in a red, you get an enchantment that says whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, flip a coin until you lose a flip. For each flip that you win, create a token copy of the creature. Those tokens gain haste. Exile them at the beginning of your next end step. So, say you pop a Titan of Industry and you flip 3 coins heads, you get 3 more copies of Titan of Industry, get all of the ETB triggers, and then you get to swing with those things. Or you play Omnath and you get a couple of coins, you get 2 additional copies. That's 3 triggers of Omnath going off, shooting them with the ETB trigger. There's just a bunch of fun, dumb crap that you can do with Mirror March, and that's how I end up with the Echoing Equation for 50 some odd damage with Lavakin Brawler type stuff going on, because you just win a bunch of coin flips off of a Mirror Match, and it just does dumb stuff where just chains out of control, and then you end up with these just huge board states, and you're just like, okay, turn all my stuff into this thing and kill you. And it's a lot of fun. It's kind of like almost like a Crater Hoof without playing the Crater Hoof. And then the last column, we slide it over here, is your basic land base, islands, mountains, and forests. Argoth's in here in case we want to flip Titania over, or if we can. A lot of the blue-green, red-green, and I can't talk right now. This is evidence of why I've been sick. Blue-red, red-green, and blue-green land base, Ketri Triome, Command Tower, Fabled Passage, Forsaken Crossroads, Mana Confluence is newer in the format, so we got that in there. And then, since we're playing a tribal-type deck, Secluded Courtyard and Unclaimed Territory, because you can name Elemental and you get a color fix for any of those you're casting, which, if you looked at this column, it's a lot of them. So, that said, hope you like the deck. I'll join you real quick for a quick outro at the end here, and let's get to the gameplay. King Darien, so we're likely looking at a soldier tribal deck. We'll see what happens there. Sure, we'll keep that. We got some card draw and a Herald's Horn, so that helps. Let's go with, just because I want to make sure if I need the blue mana on 2, it'll come in untapped. Because I could draw the Stormkin or something like that, and then I wouldn't have the ability to cast it, so... Nothing, huh? Let's go Cloud Conceer, because green-white can destroy artifacts and enchantments, so I don't want to just get nothing out of the Herald Horn right off the bat. And if they want to use an exile enchantment on the Cloud Conceer, I'm quite okay with that. Alright, so options probably... Let's just go with the Herald's Horn, naming Elemental, of course. And we'll swing for 2 in the air. So that makes it so Titan of Industry can come on a little quicker. Omnath's a little cheaper. I mean, we have some things going on here. Now we just actually have to draw some elementals off the deck to get the full value. So his creatures get +1/+1, and he can put counters on King Darien and create more creatures to attack us, and then give Hexproof and Indestructible if you sack it. But it's only for tokens, so... What's holding on here? Okay. Okay, so we didn't get what we needed out of this. So let's go ahead and do Guardian Project. And I'm going to go ahead and swing because I don't want to block with the Cloud Concealer. I want it on the board. So when I drop Omnath, it's going to hit for, you know, more than just like one little piddly damage for himself. So, but in this case, as I'm casting elementals, I can draw cards as well. Though, depending on what they do here, I could Storm's Wrath and clean the board up, which is looking like a decent option at this point. Done. Give me. I need a second green source because, or another green source because of what's in my hand. We're gonna untap this. And we're gonna burn. Actually, I think I'm gonna burn the house down. Not devils. I don't screw that up, dum-dum. I've done that before where I got over clicky and made devils instead of blowing the board up, and it's like, oh crap. Yeah, dumbass. They picked odd. Okay. Not an elemental. That's not good. All right. Yeah, we're gonna play because we're not too bad off. So let's go ahead and play Reflections of the Litjara. So every time we cast an elemental now, we'll get 2 copies. So then I'll get 2 Omnaths, or I'll get multiple Titans of Industry. Like I want a land because 2 Titans of Industry would recover my life total and create some really lousy board situations for our opponent. Especially because it looks like they're still stuck on 3 lands. I could just Storm's Wrath here too, just to keep myself going for a little bit longer. Reveal, I'll take that. I'll take extra cards. Yep, we're gonna go ahead and wipe. It'll kill the Lava Brink, it'll kill the Law Rune and the Shambler, unless they have a way of making something indestructible in their hand, like a Lauren's Escape. Hey, speaking of which... That's fine. I'm not taking, 5 damage next turn, so that's a bonus. I'm still taking 3, though. Alright, give me... Nope, not... Well... I can. It's like it's a thing to get me a little closer to a land. Okay, there we go. All right, let's go. Let's go Titan of Industry. Rhino 5 me. And Rhino 5 me. All right. Well, that's a little better. Now, there's probably a Wrath of God in my future. I probably should have put shield counters on the Titans. Oh, no. Just King Darien. Okay. But that gives me some elementals. I can smash something. Elemental? Elemental. I like it. All right, let's do... Just because it's freaking funny, I want a Mirror March. We'll see if the opponent eventually scoops on this stuff, because I got all these stupid enchantments. But, I'm just going to attack with one of the 7/7s. I'm not going to push them to the brink. I want to see the funnies. All right, what do we get here? Oh, yes. Nice. Okay. So let's go Healer of the Glade. We're guaranteed to get 2 of these. We're going to gain some life back. Mirror March is going to trigger, and usually I like playing something into a Mirror March because usually the first time it triggers off, it doesn't do more than maybe one copy. And then you're just sitting there going, oh, that's sad. But it's a pet card of mine, so it's in the deck. Because I love... Wow. Okay. That might make them scoop. I don't know. Yeah, I did. I was going to play Omnath after that, because then we would have had... Let's move this over. 4, 5, 6, 7. We had 8 elementals, and I would have just jammed Omnath and slammed. Or I could have done a Mole Drifter, because I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had enough lands to do a Mole Drifter Evoke and do Omnath and just fire a huge cannonade. So, but that is the power of the Mirror March, and I love that card. Sheolded. Oh boy. Yeah, in the echelon of not fair commanders, that one's pretty high up there. So we'll go probably Forest first, play Leafkin Druid into Bolthound probably. At least for right now, that's the plan. Our opponent is mulling things over, you know. Or doing one of the things I hate the most, which is walking away from the computer when you queue in. Alright, we'll do this. Could be a fatal push coming. I'm kind of surprised I didn't see a Thoughtseize or something on turn 1. Because for whatever reason, it seems like they always have a Thoughtseize available. It's just like the game just is like, yep, they're going to have this card. Alright, let's play this. Let's do... It's a 2-2. I can do up to a 3-drop. Or a 4-drop, excuse me. Omnath could just shoot the Vivisector. I think that's what I'm going to do, is I'm just going to play Omnath and kill that Vivisector. I don't really want them getting too much value out of that, because I'm sure they probably have some kind of sack engines going on. And if they want to focus their removal on Omnath, that's fine. It's just one less removal going towards my Leafkin Druid or something else that can help me power out the bigger, better creatures. Must be a tough decision. Come on. We're still in the early game, man. You don't have timeouts to play with here. That's the thing. If you goof around too much in the early game before you've had time to get those, you're screwed.
This is my home.
Now, you make me sacrifice something, I may just do the Leafkin Druid. I don't know. Nah, I'll do Omnath. You can go back to post. Alright, let's do Mana Confluence. Let's do Metallic Mimic, naming Elemental. And let's do Bolthound. Say hello. Say goodbye. Seriously, you're playing Sheolded and you scoop to that? Weak. First Sliver. Man, I'm getting all kinds of nasty today. I had Sheolded earlier, but they scooped. Now I got this. I'm gonna keep this because it has some interesting stuff going for it. As long as I get one more land, this is actually pretty good. Of course, the one more land needs to be a green or a blue so we can cast Omnath, but I already have double red for the Tectonic Giant. green if I need to bring something back, and then this naming elementals can actually help me pump elementals and do other dumb things. So let's kick this off with Catcher Triome since it comes in tapped. Unfortunately, we drew another mountain. That's great. I think there's a whole 4 or 5 of them in the deck, and I've drawn 3 out of them. That's not good. Alright, we'll drop that and pass turn. Oh, it's permanent. I was like, why is that triggering? I don't have a creature. Uh-oh. That is dangerous. Alright, we're going to go ahead and play Icon. We're going to name Elemental. Because anything that boosts our Elementals up to help us either keep them alive or deal more damage is a good thing here. I'm hoping for that green or blue mana, but Tectonic Giant is probably the play. Okay, if you want to use that on Icon, all you. Alright, that burn down the house is going to be really useful. So... I'm going to play Delina and see what happens. Because I could theoretically top deck a land and then be able to either make a bunch of tectonic... If I don't, I can make a bunch of Tectonic Giants, or I can make a bunch of Omnaths. So... Or they could just flat out kill it. I mean... Let's see what happens, I guess. Because they got mana and colors for days since they got Arcane Signet and that Prism. Okay, there's a Borrowed Time. Where's my Flood of Tears? This one sliver. Okay, there's a green. It's going to drive me nuts. Let's go ahead and play Reflections of Litjara, because they only have one sliver. It's not like they have a board full of slivers. Ooh. Now, what does that thing do? I've not seen this card in forever. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature or planeswalker card, you may reveal it, put it in your hand. If you don't, put it on the bottom. Okay. That's fine. Let's play this as a blue, because we got plenty of red. Let's play... Hey. It sucks that they hit those with exiles. I can't get rid of them right now. Let's go ahead and do Tectonic Giant. And I have ways of keeping it protected and indestructible and all that good fun stuff. So I always chump the First Sliver and then safekeeping it. Okay. It's a Mox Amber. That's fine. It's a Paladin class. I can still cast the Tamios, so... That's a problem. Dragscape, okay. That just gives their slivers Unearth. That's a problem as well, because that now gives them First Strike, Trample, and Lifelink on whatever they stick that on. Yeah. Methinks we have problems. Alright, we're going to block here. I'm going to keep it alive because I need all the elementals I can keep on the board. Alright. Let's Omnath. We'll get a copy. The copy can kill the Lancer Sliver. The other one will come in. State-based effects will say keep one of them. I'll keep... And actually, you know what? I'm going to keep the token, and I'll let the other one go back to command so I can recast it later, and I'm going to kill that Lava Belly too. So, at worst, they can actually just unearth them. I'm not too concerned. And I'm going to not attack right now, actually. Was not a creature because they didn't put it into hand. Alright, they're going to go after my Reflections of Litjara. I think. Oh, wait, I don't think I have a creature in a graveyard. There are none in the graveyards. Or wait, yeah, there is. I just killed two. What am I thinking? Durr. That's fine. Alright, that sucks. Because that gives them all menace. Yeah. So it didn't really matter that I didn't keep the actual Omnath. Now I have to take the 8 on the chin. Because I'm not able to do that. I'm going to have to recast Omnath next turn and kill that Belligerent Sliver. But even if I do that, I'm probably screwed. Because he can just undying them out of the graveyard because of that Dragscape. So, whatever. We're gonna do it. Of course, I could just smash the Drake, but I need to get rid of that Belligerent Sliver. It's gotta go. So... I don't know what is... Oh, it must be that. It must be the Prism that's holding up the priority. Alright. Cannot attack, because those have to be able to be blockers. We've been backfooting this the whole time. But I have to be able to block stuff. And even then, I think if they unearth the Belligerent Sliver, we're screwed anyways. So we'll see if they see the line or not. Was not a creature. Was a land. Okay. Okay. They did not see the line. They just went with that. But that's fine. It is what it is. Tezzeret. Alright. Well, my history with this deck is not very good. I usually get my ass handed to me, so... I'm going to try this only because I have Cavalier of Thorns in hand, and I've yet to see that card show up. At least today. This is an old deck that I've had for quite a while, ever since the this Omnath was printed back in 2019, actually. No, intervention doesn't do me anything here. I guess we'll just play the forest off the back of my hand and say go. Wanting to buy some blue mana. Because I got green for days. A finale for 3? Okay. Okay, because you got to get 10 or more to actually get that. So... Okay. Let's do Tangled Florahedron as a creature. And we'll pass turn. sure. Like, whatever. Yeah. My turn. I may need to use that intervention to protect myself from a Tezzeret blast. Or force types. Whatever. Creatures have affinity for artifacts. Top 10 cards. Okay. So I don't have to worry about that, like, completely slamming me in the teeth just yet. Let's do the forest. And I have intervention up. -8 exiles the top 10. Ugh. Now we're going to use this. Can't +2 now. Oh, it doesn't target. Shit, I thought it targeted. That sucks. Alright. Well, I need more elementals to be able to kill the noxious Gear Hulk. I should probably just play Bolthound and then play Omnath to hit Tezzeret. So let's just do that. And actually, you know what? Screw it. We're going to send the Cavalier of Thorns right at Tezzeret. If I can kill a Gear Hulk in the trade, that's fine. If not, well, I can always try the Omnath route to get what I want anyways. So I got to hit Tezzeret and I got to kill the Gear Hulk, so I'm okay with that. Uh-oh. That's a big uh-oh. Now that does target. So we might be Timeless witnessing for that intervention back this next turn. Do we have a Languish? Or, because they have snow-covered lands, they could have Blood on the Snow. Probably have Blood on the Snow. Oddsy evensy, huh? Oh, that sucks. Alright. Well, I'm glad I didn't have a Shia out. Alright. Hold that thought. Do I have anything in the yard? I got one land in yard. Alright. Let's do a Shia. And we'll put a counter on Omnath. And we'll play a land. And put another counter on Omnath. And let's play the Timeless Witness. Put another counter on Omnath. I want that Heroic Intervention back. Hey, Tezzeret. Go back to post.
You will pay for this.
Now, the bad part is now I'm in a race. Because them recasting Tezzeret and blasting me is going to kill me well before I can outrace this. And if they start chaining spells together, I'm dead to an Aetherflux Reservoir. Uh-oh. Well, there goes a Shia. That's a bear. Alright. Yep. Aetherflux Reservoir is a dumb artifact. Now, did not have fun. Verazol, the Split Current. Okay. Well, hey, we finally don't have like a top 10 Brawl commander here to beat us up. I'm feeling pretty good about that. We'll try it. We'll go Ketria into Mana Confluence to start this. I picked a really, for whatever reason, I think I picked a really bad day to play Omnath, because, like, for the most part, the commanders I've been getting are just the most nastiest crap ever. It's like, get Trog Monster, Sheolded, First Sliver, just one after another. Oh, Tezzeret, Master of the Bridge, that was another lovely time in the arena today. Oh boy. It's starting to get on my nerves a little bit. All I want to do is play a little bit of Tribal Elementals. Is that too much to ask? It's not even the busted Omnath, it's the less busted Omnath. Yeah, we'll go with that. Give me cards. That has haste, so bouncing that doesn't do you a whole lot of good. Okay. Yeah, now can tap for mana. Gotcha. Need to get some elementals out. Let's go. I got double red and double blue already, so this is kind of whatever. Let's go with another red just in case I get to that point. And let's go with Guardian Project. More cards equals better. Ooh, Delina. All right. Wow. They just went for the whole thing. All right. Let's do Delina. Screw it. Do this while they can't block. Get another card out of it. So Grazilax there is giving us 3 cards. That's pretty good, actually. But his intent was twofold. It was to get cards out of him, and if I swing with Omnath, if they were to blink him or block, I could bounce him back to my hand and recast him. All right, they have the 9/9 now, but it can block Brushfire. Now that becomes the dumb question. I probably should have done. Well, I couldn't have done it without playing the land first. It's like, do I just bounce like all their crap back to hand? Because what is this? It's like they can recast that, but or do I just say screw it and hope Delina doesn't die and I get something good out of it? All right, let's do this. Because it's a target and it creates a copy. All right, so let's go ahead and do Delina. We're going to target the Brushfire Elemental. And it's like, it's a whatever. I'll return Delina to my hand if they block it, using Grazilax's ability. So, it's like, whatever. And I get a card out of it. So, and I'll just replay her. Because there's no reason not to. I mean, it's... And I have Gaia's Gift up now, so let's end the turn. We will discard, because I can only play one land next turn, so let's discard the mountain. Because I need green mana. So... okay. Ooh, that's just not right. I could do some really dumb things with this. Alright, let's send Delina in again. Let's see if we can get some better rolls. No, of course not. Oh, they're actually just going to block there? Okay. Which one is this? Is this Delina? Yeah. We'll take that action. Or no, it doesn't matter. It was going to die in combat anyways. So, replay Delina. Keep the guy as gift up. I mean, I'll take more cards. Alright. Enter. Let's discard... let's discard the Timeless Witness. It's a more expensive version of the regrowth that I already have in hand. Gift will allow me to make something indestructible if I need to and block or to protect from a fight spell. Okay, there's Mirror March. That... okay, that could be a thing. It's a pain is what it is. But then I leave the gates open doing that. Let's play Chandra. I'm actually going to +0 her and put a loyalty counter on her. And I'm going to... this is so irritating. I'll play this as a blue. Delina's going... yeah, Delina's going in again. Targeting the Brushfire. Tag action. Man, my luck with these rolls sucks. Take action, take action. Next to damage, I'll still get a card out of it. And then I'll replay Delina again. It takes down the shields, but whatever. Discard Shivan Reef. If I take a 9 dinger to the face, I'm okay with that. Or if they want to send that at Chandra as, you know, a decoy, I'm okay there too. The ultimate here would be like Delina comes down and swings and I get a bunch of Brushfire elementals to go through and then I just Omnath to finish. Like that's the dream. This is where life gets to be interesting here. Let's make 2 elementals.
Okay. Say hi to my fiery friends.
Because I could get... I'm trying to think if I can kill them. If I do Augmenter, the Echoing Equation on the back end, turn all this stuff into those things, and then drop a land, I think that just kills them, right? Pretty sure. Because they can only block one of them. Pretty sure that's lethal. And I have a guy as gift if they try to bounce something. Okay. I was like, I'm not missing this, right? Jinnie Faye. Alright, I just played against that a couple days ago and I got spanked hard. Alright. Yeah. That card's messed up. My favorite game of all time with Omnath, I turned like a bunch of elementals into Lavakin brawlers and swung, and they were huge. They were like 52 power elementals. It was ridiculous. Now, I probably should have did the Unclaimed Territory last turn and did the Brushfire first, because then I could have played the next land and got both of them swinging next turn, because there's not going to be enough counters on the Pelt Collector for them to be able to block it this turn. But that's okay. Say Dunzo. Let's go Brushfire Elemental, swing. I mean, I left 2 damage on the table because I didn't do that in the reversed order for which one got dropped first. And a lot of times, if you've ever watched me, I do that a lot. I'll catch it after the fact and go, oh, duh, I should have done this. All right. I mean, I'm okay with that. All right, play a land. I'm going to kill the Racketeer boss. And then I'm going to swing. Because there's no point in killing the Pellet Collector, because then its counters get shifted around. So... Or wait, does that one... Oh, no, that one does not. Okay. You want to kill that? That's okay. Alright. Stomping Ground can come into play tapped. And we're gonna play Lavakin Brawler, actually. Just to get it through its summoning sickness. And I'm hoping they don't play something bigger than a 3. Okay, nope. Give me a land so I can Chandra Awakened Inferno this board to death. That would be the best. Ah, crap. Okay. Nope. Then that's fine. Of course. Of course. Alright. So, green. And let's... I'm going to Omnath that Pelt Collector before it grows any bigger. And I'm swinging. Because they can't double block the Brawler and kill it. So, they can't block Brushfire. And they can't block Lightning Stormkin. So, I might as well go ahead and push the advantage. There's Revels, which is not really good here. Okay. I mean, you got blockers. You're going to need them. And I'm just going to do this, I think. Yeah, I'm not even going to screw around with it. I'm just going to do this. This will kill 2 of the blockers, and then smashy, smashy. Yeah. I just got to look at this. They have to block this. So they take 3, 4, 5, 6. They go to 2. And if they had no way to stop me the next turn, Spark Double on Omnath, shoot him in the face. I mean, I mean, there's a multitude of answers I could have had there, but this worked out much more beautifully than the last time I played against Jinnie Faye. So what did you guys think? I hope you liked the deck. I'm sorry the gameplay is a little bit shorter than usual. Just with being ill this weekend, I didn't have time to actually go back and get some extra footage that I like to get. And it wasn't working out for me. I just lost my voice and couldn't do any recordings until today. So with that said, I hope you had a lot of fun. I love playing this deck. Teamer's a great color combination, and I hope you have a lot of fun with it, and I will see you in the next video.